Welcome back to the main events of Italian diplomatic activity abroad. NATO foreign minister met in Brussels on April 3rd and 4th by strategic issues for the organization on the agenda in view of the upcoming summit in The Hague on December 24th and 25th. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio reassured alliance with Washington has no intention of leaving the alliance, but stressed that European countries must increase their NATO funding contribution to 5%. A challenging prospect, noted Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani, given the tariffs imposed by Trump.
Bisogna andare avanti nella trattativa con gli Stati Uniti ed è chiaro che poi dovrà.
We need to move forward in the negotiations with the United States, and it is clear that then a decision will have to be made with choices to impose duties on some American products to respond to the tariffs that have been imposed on aluminium and products that derive from aluminium. In short, we need to be very cool, very determined. Take care and not worry at a time when the situation is quite complicated.
Occuparsi e non preoccuparsi in un momento in cui la situazione è abbastanza complicata.
In Brussels, Tajani also met with the EU Trade Commissioner Maros Sefcovic, with whom he agreed on the need to maintain a firm yet dialogue-based approach, aiming to avoid further escalation on the trade front. Italy, Tajani explains, supports the finalization of new trade agreements with emerging countries to diversify exports, as demonstrated by the Italian Export Action Plan, launched recently at Villa Madama, which the minister presented to Commissioner Sefcovic. On Monday, the issue of tariffs will also be discussed in Luxembourg at the EU Foreign Trade Ministers meeting, with Tajani representing Italy. The Italian government position on the US tariffs was at the focus of a meeting held at Palazzo Chigi on April 3rd, following Trump's announcement during the night, Italian time, that evening Prime Minister Meloni addressed the matter in a TV interview stating, "I think the US decision to impose tariffs is a wrong choice that helps neither the European nor the American economy. But I also believe we should not feed the alarmism we have been hearing these past hours." Meloni also announced a meeting next week with representatives of the production sectors to seek the best solutions to the problem. In another speech the following day, during her visit to Ortona, abroad to Amerigo Vespucci, Meloni reiterated that tariffs represent a problem to be solved, but not the catastrophe I've been hearing about these days. She suggested that the European Union should consider measures such as suspending the stability pacts on the Green Deal targets for the automotive sectors rather than retaliatory tariffs. Italian suppers for Myanmar, hit by a violent earthquake on March 28th, Deputy Minister Cirielli has approved emergency funding of €2 million for the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, IFRC, provided through Italian cooperation to deliver immediate aid and assistance to the communities most affected by the quake. An additional €1.3 million is foreseen through an emergency call focused on crisis response, involving many Italian civil society organizations already active in the country, which promptly mobilized in the aftermath of the disaster to support victims. Cirielli concluded a mission to Strasbourg on April 1st, where he met with the Secretary-General of the Council of Europe, Alain Berset, and the Secretary-General of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, Despina Ciassi Vassiliou, reaffirming Italy's strong support for the organization's work on human rights, democracy, the rule of law, and defending the shared values at the heart of European identity. On the sidelines of the Council of Europe visit, Deputy Minister Cirielli took part in two events of the European Parliament, one on the migration and another on Central Asia, attended by the Deputy Prime Minister of Kyrgyzstan. Undersecretary of Foreign Affairs Giorgio Silli visited Munich, where he met with students, families and teachers at the Leonardo da Vinci Italo-German School, emphasizing that the institution is an excellent example of cultural and linguistic integration and a reference point for our community in Munich and in Germany. The Farnesina collection goes online. The contemporary artwork in the collection are now accessible free of charge, anytime and from anywhere, thanks to a digitalization effort launched in 2016 in collaboration with Google Arts and Culture. Today, 400 items are available, including photographs and detailed description of the artworks, the Farnesina Palace decorations and Italian cultural institutes through 10 virtual tours using Street View technology. To mark the 10th edition of the Italian Literature and Culture Festival Italissimo, scheduled in Paris from April 1st to 6th, the Italian ambassador to France, Emanuele D'Alessandro, welcomed a group of key participants at the prestigious Sala dei Guardi of the embassy, including prominent Italian authors such as Alessandro Baricco, Milena Agus, Michela Marzano, and Gianrico Carofiglio. Italissimo offers a unique opportunity to meet some of the most representative Italian writers and discover new voices in Italian literature recently translated into French. And that's all for now. Thanks for your attention and stay tuned.